Welcome to the lesson, What is Science? In this lesson, you'll explore the characteristics of science and scientific thinking. The vocabulary words for this lesson are science, pseudoscience, and empirical evidence. You can click each word to find out more about it. Scientists use the scientific method to study everything from cancer cells to objects in outer space. Usually, we think of scientists as working in laboratories like the one in the video, but they can work anywhere. Scroll through the slideshow to learn more about science. Science is the systematic study of nature. All scientists share some common approaches to the study of the things around them. Empirical evidence is the combined body of observations on which scientific explanations are based. Scientists must use empirical evidence to form explanations like scientific theories, models, and laws. Scientists may have certain feelings or hunches, but these are not part of empirical evidence. Scientists base what they know on what they can observe. Scientists may often use tools to aid them in their observations. Without actual observation and testing, scientists don't have explanations, only speculations. Scientific ideas can change when scientists make new observations or uncover new information. For instance, the understanding of the solar system changed from being Earth-centered to Sun-centered when observations with a telescope gave new evidence. A big part of what scientists do involves completing experiments and running tests. The results can either support or refute an explanation. Science requires critical thinking skills. Scientists analyze their data and use logic to determine if an explanation makes sense. Scientists don't base their conclusions only on one observation or the result of just a single test. They make many observations and conduct multiple tests before coming to a conclusion. This is the only way scientists can know for certain if their conclusions make sense, if they follow logically from what they have observed. What traits help scientists do their jobs well? Click a photo to learn more about traits that scientists possess. Have you ever wondered how something works? Well, it's the curiosity of scientists that lead them to investigate questions, increasing our knowledge about the world. Meteorologists are scientists who are curious about the atmosphere. They may wonder about the air movement and pressure changes around a tornado. Their curiosity can lead to better warning systems for people in the path of these storms. Scientists are careful observers. They pay attention to the details of what they see and are careful about collecting data. An observant astronomer pays close attention to how light is emitted from a star to determine the star's temperature and age. Scientists aren't often pictured as creative people, but they are. Scientists need creativity to design new experiments and equipment that will advance our knowledge of the world. For example, scientists needed to be very creative to design the types of tests that the rovers sent to Mars would perform. They needed to include only those tests that would give them the most information. Scientists use logic to find solutions to problems. Logical reasoning makes scientists trust a solution only when it agrees with all the evidence they can find. Logic also leads scientists to run additional tests to see if a solution accounts for things they may not have seen yet. Scientists are skeptical about their work. They will question, test, and repeat experiments, and they'll look for flaws in experimental design. They'll research other scientists' experiments and results by talking to each other and by reading scientific journals. They will only reach a conclusion after satisfying their skepticism. Scientists must be objective. They determine their results based on observations, measurements, and math, and never on hunches, feelings, or moods. Have you ever wondered how something works? Well, Did you know not all science is real science? Let's take a look at the concept of pseudoscience and discover ways it can be described. Pseudoscience often lacks valid scientific data to support its claims. Much of the evidence that supports a pseudoscientific claim is personal opinion. Remember, scientists rely on empirical evidence. Empirical evidence does not include opinions. Pseudoscience claims can't be proven true or false, as can scientific theories. Because pseudoscience is supported mainly by personal opinions, to change a pseudoscientific claim means changing the minds of those people who hold those opinions. For example, astrology claims that the positions of the stars affect people here on Earth. Astrology is considered a pseudoscience. Many people, however, think that the claims based on astrology are true. When a claim does not work out as they may have thought, they decide that they must have been mistaken, not the claim. Pseudoscience lacks peer review. This means that those who make pseudoscientific claims often do not make their evidence and methods open to others to comment on it. Scientific evidence can often be a very strongly held opinion by a scientist who has done a lot of studying on a subject. Click true or false. That's not it. Scientific evidence or empirical evidence is always more than just an opinion, even if the opinion is that of a well-respected scientist. It is always evidence that can be observed and tested. Knowing is not a trait that scientists possess. Click your answer. Right. Scientists are objective and do not base their conclusions on hunches or gut feelings. Drag each subject into the correct column. Is it science or pseudoscience? Good job! Physics, meteorology, and volcanology are all sciences, because scientists in those fields gather empirical evidence about the natural world and are regularly reviewed by other scientists. Astrology and fortune-telling rest on only vague evidence. Although many may really want the claims made to be true, they can have a hard time supporting them. Why might scientific theory or thinking change over time? Type your answer in the box provided. When you're finished, click OK. Scientific theory could change over time as new evidence is found and new discoveries made. You've learned a lot about the nature of science in this lesson. Before we finish, let's take a quick look at the main points you covered. Science is the study of nature through empirical evidence. Scientists make observations and analyze data before forming conclusions. A scientific explanation can change over time when new evidence is found. Scientists are curious, logical, observant, skeptical, and creative people. All these traits make scientists able to study the natural world in the best way. Pseudoscience claims cannot be proven or refuted. Pseudoscience may often look like science, but a closer inspection shows where it isn't like science. Now that you've finished this lesson, if you wish, you can go back and review any part of the lesson again.